I recently watched an Indonesian drama called The Brother and Seven Siblings by Yandy Lawrence. And while the entire movie is a hard hitting portrayal of the many realities of life, there's a very specific moment in this film that I haven't been able to put down. And I really want to talk about it. So it's a story of a young man, barely into adulthood himself, who suddenly becomes the only parent left to seven children. Not by choice, by circumstance. And what follows isn't the version of caregiving we usually see on screen. This is my most liked part. It isn't noble suffering set to gentle music. Instead, it's exhaustion shown in its raw form. Not the glamorized kind where the protagonist lives through it all and still emerges to be successful, but the real kind where the protagonist can be seen struggling with all of it: missed deadlines, a relationship slowly falling apart, body running on no sleep, a version of himself he no longer has time to be. And this is exactly what psychology calls caregiver burden, a topic that is personally and professionally extremely close to my heart. And one of the most important things this film gets right is that it never asks the audience to admire the protagonist for disappearing into the role. It asks you to notice the cost instead. Because somewhere along the way, we have really misunderstood caregiving. And we have built a story around it which is extremely misleading. That the right kind of love is the selfless kind, and there are no two ways about it. Now, when you glamorize a person's hardship, you stop seeing the person behind the giving role. You stop asking the person struggling how they're doing. And what this film understands is that you can love the people you're caring for completely and still be allowed to want a life of your own. Those two things were never supposed to be in competition, and yet we have made it to be so. Research has found guilt to be one of the most significant contributing factors to caregiver burden, and that guilt plays both ways: the guilt of not being true to yourself, and the guilt of not being true to the person you're supposed to care for. This movie beautifully navigates through the complexities of that emotion and brings you to the quiet realization that showing up for your family does not mean disappearing from yourself. If any of this resonates with you, I highly recommend you go and watch this movie because you're allowed to carry love and exhaustion at the same time, and you are allowed eventually to ask for help carrying it. And if my marvelous cinematic find helps you shed even a bit of your caregiver burden, I will consider it a small win. So please go watch. Thank you.